This is Bill Brady, One United Body, doing another video as part of the Leadership Training School. This video is part of a series about why not to go out and start sowing and gathering right away before you really have an idea of what you're doing. And this particular video is entitled Don't Camp. This revelation was initially Jane Johnson's revelation, and I honor her for it. I have received the revelation from her and made it a part of me, and it is now part of who I am. So don't camp. What do we mean? Well, you're a tent camper. Let's say you're doing a walk along the Appalachian Trail or something. You camp overnight. The next morning, you get up and keep on going. You break camp and pack it up, put it on your back, and head out. And then that night, you find a nice place to camp and you set up camp there. And then you sleep there that night. And then the next morning you get up, pack up, and put it all on your back and keep on going. So when we say don't camp, what we're not saying is don't camp overnight, but what we are saying is don't stay there too long. So you're doing a really nice journey, and your intention is to get from the beginning to the end of the Appalachian Trail. And the image that I'm giving you here is getting from the beginning to the end of your journey of growing up spiritually. And it's okay to camp overnight. You must need to, right? But if you come to a particularly nice spot, I mean, it's got really nice water, it's got a beautiful view, I think I'll stay here a while. Well, what has happened? You've stopped journeying. You're not doing you found a nice place on the path, a nice place on the way. Yeshua said, I'm the way, the truth, and life, right? Another way of saying way is path. And what do you do on a way or path? You journey on it. Another way to say it would be a road that you drive on. But anyway, point being, you stopped. And you're not doing your journey anymore because you like the convenience and comfort of the place that you are. Many people unknowingly have camped on their journey because they don't have the revelation of the next steps after that. So they don't know that they've camped. They think they've arrived. And other people, especially in leadership, it's very easy to camp if your income is coming to you by functioning in a particular identity that is associated with this particular place on the journey. And if you move further along the journey, if the people don't follow you, then they don't donate anymore, and there you are. So it is important to not get so settled into a particular level of function in a particular age, for example, like staying at the kingdom age, like I've been trying to tell you, not to stay there, keep on moving, go up to the ecclesia age and go beyond that to the age of Melchizedek, which I hadn't mentioned until just now. It is very, very important you don't get too comfortable and don't camp, because then you stop your journey. And your journey is part of the blueprint that God has for your life. And every denomination is a campsite. It's just the way it is. They have a particular set of things that they believe. Their statement of faith says this, and if you're outside their statement of faith, then you're outside the denomination. I initially came to faith in Yeshua in a church in a particular denomination with a guy that was functioning as a pastor, and I'm so glad that I did. It was a good start, but God moved me on from there. I camped there for quite a while, and they moved me on, and I've gotten to the place where I'm very flexible and I don't stay anywhere very long anymore. But initially, my journey was starts and stops. Another stay there for quite a long time. That first church that I was a part of, the one that I initially became a believer in, I spent 7 years there. 5 years, went away for the first year seminary, came back, spent 2 years there, and then left and moved on for my second year of seminary, where God had planned that most importantly, more important than anything else I learned in seminary, much of which was not worth much at all, and some of which was worth quite a bit. But most importantly, I received the Holy Spirit during that year of seminary. That was God's plan. He got me there near a pastor / evangelist who was counseling people about the Holy Spirit in this seminary that didn't necessarily have that experience. They didn't. They were all denominational people who didn't have the Holy Spirit for the most part. And he was counseling people for a little while, and then one by one, he'd take them off to the music school, to one of the practice rooms where people would practice their violin or whatever. Take them, book the practice room to have the time there. Take them into the practice room and use it as a place to lay hands on them so they receive the Holy Spirit. He was doing this for one person after another person after another person. And I was one of the many people that he did that for, and I'm so glad that he did. I also then, after I graduated, functioned as an assistant pastor under him in a church plant that he was doing. That was part of my training. So my point is that over time, my initial periods of camping were quite long. And then they got shorter and shorter and shorter. And I moved on and I moved on and I moved on. And right now I'm very flexible. Jane and I together here in One United Body, we're moving on together. So there's no real danger of camping here, because the house itself is continuing to move on into, and move up is probably a better way to say it, into higher and higher names and functions. Jane's not camping and I'm not camping. We're still traveling together on the path. So I encourage you, don't camp.